Why do we attract so many toxic people into our life? We are thinking about this very often, but often we don't see reasons why we do this. In this video, I'm going to present you 4 reasons why do you attract toxic people into your life, so watch this video till the end. First, unresolved past traumas. Probably each of us experienced something hard in the past, some hard emotions, and we haven't processed it, and it stayed in our body, and later we are traumatized. If we are traumatized, we are more susceptible to attract toxic people in our life, because if we are traumatized, we are weaker, and even if people don't see it in the first glance, after engaging with us into relation, they will see, they can perceive energetically that you're traumatized, and they can use this vulnerability and exploit us. So yes, healing our traumas is a crucial part of our life, because when we don't heal them, we actually have this burden on our back and we cannot live fully to the fullest possibility. And also when we are traumatized, we are more susceptible to attracting toxic people. I think they can exploit us more easily, because traumas are our weaknesses, but we should not be ashamed of them, but we should rather work on them, realize them, what were our traumas, and heal them. Because if you are traumatized, we feel to the less or more degree stress for all time. And if you let go of your traumas, you can finally go and live at ease and feel stress only when you need to feel this, because stress can be okay in some situations, right? 2. Lack of self-awareness. We attract toxic people in many cases because we don't know what values we are looking for in people, what we personally value. If we lack self-awareness, and we cannot remain aware whilst communicating with other people, we can attract these toxic people into our life, because we will not notice that something's wrong with this person. That maybe I should not engage myself into this. If we don't have this self-awareness, we are not listening to our intuition, and we are attracting much more toxic people in our life, because we just want to quit ourselves if we don't have this self-awareness, and we want to just be in some friendships, in some relations. But just going into relationships without self-awareness is very risky, and in most cases we will not be able to define clearly which people we want to meet and which people we want to avoid. We should accept, of course, everyone, but we should not let all people to come into our life and to create this close connection, because not every people is not eligible for that. Not every person is not going to come into your life and make it more beautiful. So first we need to make ourselves more beautiful by increasing our self-awareness, by discovering our needs, our desires, what we are afraid, and later we can create more beautiful connection with people and see earlier which person can be toxic and avoid them. 3. Low self-esteem. This is somehow correlated to the second point, and if we don't consider ourselves as valuable people, we don't respect ourselves, then we can even feel desire to get into these relationships with toxic people. Because these toxic people can have also some positive traits, and we will see them, and we will oversee these negative ones, and we will feel this desire to go into these relationships, because they will give something to us to replace our self-esteem. But on the other hand, they will give us these negative traits, their toxicity. And this toxicity is going to influence us much harder than these positive things about this person. So yes, self-esteem is so important topic that it should be learned in school, how to increase it, so how to keep it on a high level, because most of the people nowadays struggle with self-esteem, to be honest, okay? We see this. And when we have low self-esteem, we oftentimes look for other people to come into our life and fix this low self-esteem. It's kind of toxic, because we should not get into we should not get into relationships only to raise our self-esteem, but to have so much self-respect, energy, self-esteem that you can share with it others and help others, but they will also offer something to us, and this will not be toxicity. Because if someone is toxic, he or she needs to work on himself and later come back into social life. Because if you will not heal your toxicity, you're going to give it to others, and this may be also reason why you're attracting toxic people, because you're toxic. In the past, I used to be very toxic, and I was able to admit it. And when I admitted it to myself, then I started to work on this. And when I saw positive changes, it was a beautiful feeling for me, and I started to consciously get rid of all these toxic traits that I get, and I started to raise my energy, and I became a more positive person. I still have some drawbacks, as every one of us, but still I healed my traumas, and I'm not as toxic as I was in the past. And you need to understand that toxicity can sometimes be very subjective, and there are some situations in which we can be toxic, but in general, we are not toxic people. But toxic people are people who are toxic in most situations, and you can see this, that it happens very often. These toxic behaviors, toxic energy, and toxic personality. 4. Difficulty identifying red flags. On the internet, we can find a lot of articles, a lot of books about toxic people and how to spot them. If we have difficulty identifying these red flags, we are just wasting a lot of time, because we can see it faster when we know what are the red flags of the toxic people, and don't immerse ourselves into this relation and save time, and don't create later suffering, because toxic people create suffering for us, but also we do it ourselves. If you have difficulty spotting red flags, you need to work on observation and not merely on your emotion. But because sometimes toxic people can elicit these beautiful emotions, this pleasure in you, and you can oversee it and don't notice these red flags. You should remain kind of with your logic, maybe not with your logic, but observation, and see how this person reacts in many situations. Ask proper questions, and you're going to spot red flags much faster, and this will save you time, and you will not waste so much time with toxic people, and you will attract more beautiful people into your life if you work on your self-awareness, on your self-esteem, and you will become person who you want to be. Because if you will focus more on yourself, you're able to give more to others. That's all for today's video. I hope you liked it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe my channel, and share it. Bye bye!